beat, true offline experience that we've had, the offline monthly. We are back at Balance Patch, as you can see by the red and white color scheme that we are going all the way through. You even got a little bit of red and white in your shirt, technically speaking. I am Brad Muse. Joining me is Monkey Business. We are here to open up the day for y'all today with some Guilty Gear Rev2. There's so much red.
Everywhere.
There is so much red.
I need more red props because red is the theme color in fighting games when you are taking fat damage from a TOD combo. That's in Guilty Gear Exard, more likely Guilty Gear Strive. Big red light bars, nothing excites me more. It is a color of passion, and disaster of passion unfolding before our eyes as Elfeld, series waifu, soon becoming the Strive, I'm sure, is going up against the Nuclearcheese Soul Bad Guy, a character who is functioning so differently than what you might be used to seeing out of him in Strive. Look, he's like...
I mean, as someone whose principal Guilty Gear experience is Strive related, the fact that Elfeld's life bar still exists after eating a hit, so that's already different.
Yeah, I mean, she's kept the risk pretty low. Tanuk's defensive options. A lot of anti-air so far, but unable to make offensive momentum has typically ended around mid-screen here. Low profile squeeze, that's a button that has not been the same since Exard Rev. Quite slower, not as much low profile, but really powerful in this game. There it is again, counter hitting so far, every time it's been used. But also whip punish things, there's plenty of low profile action going on with it. Straight to the HVP. And you know, HVP was so much fun area, knockdown secure. Tanuk getting wild throws back into the corner. That's different.
Oh no.
Something seems different there.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, the wild throw didn't do a billion damage, but also, unfortunately, not close enough to the corner to get the fall off on the 2H. Tanuk is able to get some party started. No, Nuclearcheese elects to spend the burst, does not want to let Elfeld get the momentum started, and we are back to a neutral game.
Not for long. You got full meter on Soul Bad Guy, that means it could end at any time. But getting shot by Tanuk, who is so adamantly contested his base, and Nuclearcheese relatively burstless going into this knockdown situation. Tornado be coming in, and Night Braid, Vortex, low profile, high burst to back it up.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah. And
oh my god.
Let's see a kill combo? Not this time.
Oh, was that for a reset attempt? I don't know.
No. Definitely looking for a combo. Soon to be dropped, but now picked up with another RC. The full meter is a very hard thing to fight against, and Tanuk had almost mounted the comeback to see her around, but that game goes 2 consecutive rounds to Nuclearcheese. Putting a dent in Tanuk's presumed winner's bracket path. I know Tanuk pretty well, has always been a strong Exard player. Plays some Soul Bad Guy as well in Strive. Definitely enjoying characters who are good, allows you to focus up on your opponent, not give a shit about any limitations.
I think one thing that's pretty difficult is it looks like Tanuk is trying to meet in the air with like JPs and go from there, but Nuclearcheese, the alternation between Minutebringers and like IAD with JH, making it difficult for Tanuk to get started, has to spend the burst after Tanuk is able to dash out from the corner
after a blitz. Yeah, very excellent option by Tanuk. Elfeld being a character who only has 2 pros and invincible reversal, so defensive mechanics like Blitzfield matter especially for her. We'll be using it a lot. That was such a strong anti-air option available right after on the close S, and that's a great rip. Burst advantage. Wasn't able to confirm on counter hit 6-8.
Yeah,
one of Elfeld's best starters as well, so just a bit of love of the execution.
Yeah, it looked like, was that a late cancel, or it looked like Nuclearcheese was crouching and the gun kind of whiffed overhead?
Yeah, there could be an instinct as well to bait burst. The burst was not there, so it wouldn't have been right, but Tanuk still wins the round regardless, and they enter about equal going into round 2, game 2. Tanuk finally taking the first round, going to take 2 in a row, tie it up.
Yeah, burst already back here for Nuclearcheese though, so not losing out a whole lot on the fact that he spent that last game. Spending it immediately, that has been a pretty consistent thing. If we're at range 0 and Tanuk has the momentum, Nuclearcheese is burning resources to get out.
Wow, wake up throw right away from Nuclearcheese. The old point blank option, even stronger in Exard than it is in Strive. And
that's a horrifying thing.
Yeah. Basically invincible, you can't be close. Meaty with disjoints, or don't need meaty at all. Or use safe jumps. I mean, Elfeld normally no shortage of safe offensive options. Great shotgun stance, a consistent full combo counter hit plus on block option. As soon as she corners you, you can count on her trying to pull it out. But so far it's really just neutral hits.
That was a great anti-air from Tanuk. Be able to catch on some damage here. Oh my god!
Grenade reload, and able to avoid the burst entirely by closing out with a 1-hit. I think that's 2S from Elfeld. Ramlethal kind of inherited her sister's normal in that way right there. So Tanuk wins game 2, 2 rounds straight for both of them. maybe we could be looking for a more climactic, nice and close game 3 to close out the set. What's it 305?
Well, the header says win this final, so my assumption is that this is going to be 305.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Literacy very important, not just in fighting games, but also for reading fighting games is overlay to plays.
Like, the only thing you don't need to know how to read is screen game, which as we all know is a skill.
Yeah. That's more of a calculation anyway. You know, I'm not really sure I can make a sentence out of screen data, but I could understand it.
You may not make a sentence out of it, but you can have a conversation with it.
Yeah.
That was a clean round from Nuclearcheese, managing to close that out. Got corner position and just kind of managed to keep it going. Great anti-air from Tanuk.
You know, I don't know if anyone I know is playing this for. I think this might just be like radioactive nuclear spoiled cheese that right in the fridge so long, this particular dark green.
He's waking up, he feels it in his blood, enough to make his system go. Welcome to the new age. Since Guilty Gear Strive, and that's why he's bumped.
The same color as this tension bar usually is. That's green, 25% meter for YRC, game-defining mechanic. You'll see it with gunflame, you'll see it all grenade toss and meltdown.
I'm so disappointed you did not blow me up for the Imagine Dragons reference. That has no place being on Guilty Gear.
Yeah, I would never indulge that. That's silly. That's sickening. OTG gunflame and straight through reversal super. This is the option. You know, I alluded to it earlier. It usually comes out about once per set. This was an important moment for us. Want to win this round? I just otherwise on the ropes. Full charge dust. The burst has to come. Not baited this time. Still a big victory for Nuclearcheese.
Oh no!
High hit BB, unconverted. Probably impossible to convert off. At this point, JDs now from Alpha. Tanuk's classic closer strategy.
Oh, the dive kick whiff, Tanuk with the cleanup. Nuclearcheese with the smart gold burst, burning all those resources, but very slightly misspaces the option at the end there.
Yeah, it was a very fast awareness, situational awareness demonstration from Tanuk with 2P6B on the back tip with punish. Very strong. Tanuk is such a comfortable player. Has played XR for years, for sure. I wouldn't put it past him to make some strong adjustments. I mean, this is already the closest game we've seen, right as predicted. Now both players take a round in a game for the first time, now that they both won each other up. Riot stamping all over the place, and not even needing to spend the meter to create straight offense out of it. Because in Guilty Gear, like, you're always rewarded for just doing special moves. Even after spending YRC, you still have over 50 meters. It's a huge lead. Good Guilty Gear players definitely avoid their meter and hold it, but the threat of the option is so strong on the team.
YRC goes into the dust. Starting up some other offense here. Oh my god, so much commitment, but we're going to get big combo. No, has to spin the burst with Nuclearcheese, but still stuck in the corner, has the grenade loaded. Alright, the grenade goes away, gets caught low, into the super to kill.
Yeah, 2K bazooka conversion off 6P. Really classic LFL closer, one of the most burst safe combos that like blows you up before you get the burst back. Tanuk takes the lead in the set for the first time. Could possibly be the final time that Tanuk takes the lead if they continue this run. I mean, 2 more rounds and they're winning the set.
We're going to have to suspense the burst. Doesn't want to really deal with it. I feel like there was enough event in there that I think psychologically makes sense to slow it down. Unfortunately, though, eating a whole bunch of damage, and now you're still dealing with this offense. The DP catches. Get out, though, does Tanuk. Yeah, are we going to see a burst bait? Like, Nuclearcheese has been so consistently bursting. There it is, guys.
You gotta take the lead, right? I mean, the meta has always been, if you burst early and you don't ever get baited, you're going to be able to burst more. And each burst is very valuable against Alpha. So far, thanks to both a lot of DPs and active defensive options from Nuclearcheese, has not won a single round due to her corner game, which is normally such a tournament winner. Schaffner conversion, regular hit. You know, I'm pretty sure a couple weeks ago I heard Kitaragi screaming about how Fafnir was only +2 in this game, and he's like, why is it +11 XR? And the answer is because it's a regular combo starter. You saw it bounce her off the wall? Different function there, buddy. Anyway, 6H always functioning the same on counter with Geraldo, picking something else. Here's the corner game that we're meant to be afraid of. Here's the low conversion after full run up.
And this is the first time I think in a while that finds the back throw again, and that is now the second or third time that we've seen that into the wild throw sequence. Gets the side switch once again, Dustin in the corner.
Yeah, and approaching full meter. It's very possible for Nuclearcheese to close this out of title right here with this wealth of resources. Anything could happen. That was another wild throw. 2-0 on reversal supers is new. And with Nuclearcheese having burst, they just got to close it, and they get baited. That's what I'm saying. Tanuk's so cognizant of the resources going into that situation. I mean, once you kind of become a master of knowing when to use your super and how much time, how good you are with the time that the super will you to think and look for resources. Perfect spacing here for 6H and the RC for the bait, and Elko at so much meters is still a threat afterwards anyway, so you might as well do it.
Managing finally to find a way out of the corner, trying to control a little bit of a neutral here.
Well, this is pretty cute, by the way, pressing the 5 frames 5K in this game. With Reckless Abandon, still might as well be 3 frame in his function. Punching the grenade away, and taking a pretty small whip on it. Bandit Bringering out of the corner, no conversion to Tanuk, shot them too far away for the combo to continue.
But this is still set point for Tanuk. Life about even at first, nowhere near back to Nuclearcheese. There is burst spend for Tanuk. Oh, was so ready! Went for the IAD over the Gunflame, wanted to be able to play for that as the way to open up the party. Did not ultimately get it. One more hit will do it here.
Tanuk, yeah, definitely on the ropes, especially facing mid-screen. Chip a threat, not much meter left for FD. Pretty hopeless situation. Nuclearcheese happy to make the most of that. Put us at 2-2. Delivers to a final game in a pretty dramatic winner's final so far. Fourth of Tanuk's mains on the screen. Game of Hearts. I'm not so sure that the familiarity with Strive Soul is helpful against Xrd Soul. I mean, you can see so many differences in the design. This particular Soul kind of floats around. Look at that IADJH all the way across the screen. Instantly gets into a scramble situation where he's always advantageous. Because 5K is not so whip punishable in this game. He throws it out there, he does 2D on a Gatling. So many safe cancel options. So there's a lot of ways to disengage safely, which makes offense more strong and safe in general.
Reversal super this time from Nuclearcheese. It works out. Went for the full charge dust mix up once again, but pushed a little bit too far away. Gold burst.
IRC Gunflame actually still got whip punish. Nuclearcheese too far for the TVs. Found their spot of their own. Wow. Late hit Gunflame. Not a conversion, but definitely an advantageous knockdown for Nuclearcheese. But both players are so meter-starved. It's going to be one of the slowest rounds we'll ever play so far here.
Finds the back dash after the Fafnir. Has to block the Gunflame. Oh my god, so smart. Comes down with a button as Nuclearcheese tries to press the offense. Goes for the defensive DP to try to get out of the corner. Not prepared for the second hit of the JH overhead. Life once again still even. It's still meter-starved. Burst on deck for Tanuk. You want to finish this before Nuclearcheese gets his burst back.
Oh! Burst comes out. And
shoot
all
this
the way
man.
The yeah, it's so hard to avoid the chip. I mean, that's the danger of having no meter against late game Elfeld. And Tanuk though exits the round burstless. Nuclearcheese spent that whole round getting his burst back, so plenty of hope on here for him. And this combo is very low damage, so the risk on it hardly even mattered. Pretty neutral situation so far. YRC available for both of them now.
Alright, spends the burst now, doesn't want to eat that situation a second time. YRC for the land, tries to open up this offense, is able to open up the offense, but Nuclearcheese navigating the scramble situation a little bit, getting it Tanuk back up to the corner now.
Yeah, that burst just became worth it because the corner was resecured. Tanuk got out this time though. With so much meter though for Nuclearcheese, this is getting difficult for Tanuk, who spent all the meter on defensive options, FDing, occasional blitzes as well. Bridal Express out of the corner, not quite a pickup, but with so much meter to back up Nuclearcheese, corner situation, OTG Gunflame, this is a problem that has been solved by Wild Throw. Burst is there, and Tanuk actually going out with the burst like a gentleman.
No, that's smart.
Of course, not wasting it on a round where it otherwise would have gotten thrown. Nuclearcheese maybe showing some burst thirst, but ended with a regular air throw anyway. Tanuk didn't tech out of the combo with buttons or anything.
Oh, this is pretty good. Oh, does not elect to end facing the corner, or is not able to, rather. Nuclearcheese has Tanuk back at the corner again. We do still have burst, manages to tech out of the corner, however, though. And I feel like if Tanuk can try to press, find some space to press the offense and bring this back into the corner, get some burst safe damage. Oh, the burst gets baited!
Yeah, no such thing as burst safe in this circumstance. A lot of burst safe combos in this game. Burst has, 17 frame startup, 18. And so, if you just do slow attacks with quick recovery, or fast attacks with quick recovery, you can do burst save combos all the time. And that's the kind of thing that Soul players, so well-rounded they are, they incorporate everything. The character has, even in this game, such a wide variety of tools to use the mechanics of Guilty Gear to the best of their ability.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing is the utilization of, we saw a lot of the full charge 5D as the overhead mix coming out from Nuclearcheese. And I feel like Tanuk really didn't kind of adapt to it at any point, unfortunately. So, I mean, even by the end there, in the span of a close, like last round, 3 out of 5 set, and to have that option still be a big problem option for him, despite, on top of the fact that, like you said, the win condition of, Elfelt with this crazy corner game, Nuclearcheese just by way of either the way that they moved around the screen and ensuring that they were never back up against the corner for very long, and spending any resource that they had to get out of the corner as sort of the primary thing of like, I will burn the burst to keep you from having your win condition.
Yep.
It felt like even when Tanuk was doing well, it was by way of finding a way through Nuclearcheese's game, never by exerting their own game.
Yeah, and often that backup win condition of Ground Viper with a bar of meter or 2 available for Soul to use to exit neutral in an extreme low profile state, lower than Eno, lower than Vortex ever goes in Strive. Ground Viper in this game does not exist. You can't touch him down there.
Yeah.
So when he has meter with that, it's like, all right, he's getting in. And he had so much meter for so much of that set. I mean, Soul, so he's always been running forward at you. In this game, he can air dash forward at you a little bit more. So Docbach and Branch come up now for
I presume loser
S
semis.
finals.
Loser semis? Oh,
losers finals. Okay, top 3 action.
That's what I thought. Losers semis. I was like, losers finals would have one of these 2 players. All right, we got Dizzy versus Potemkin.
Yeah, so these 2 have played each other tons over the years. I used to watch this pretty regularly at BP Weeklies, running Exerd. And, about as what you'd expect of a matchup with these 2 archetypes, right? Slow grappler, very fast mobile zoner with tons of set play tools to drop, and excellent air movement. The air movement, actually, though, Potemkin has no shortage of tools for ways to, read air movement well. Heat Knuckle has a true air grab in this game, for example. Similarly, fast startup. You can use it as, almost a preemptive defensive option, because you have so much life with Pod, you try to make reads like this. And with all this meter, you have a get-in tool for free. Missile, YRC. Here's the Oki, Popbuster, could be dead on the RC.
It's so wild how, I was going to say, if you're more used to the more straightforward zoners of other 2D games, like Capcom-facing ones, then to watch zoners in anime titles feels insane because, zoners have all of these options that you don't expect to see with zoners.
Yeah.
The crazy movement, the ability to, projectiles into projectiles in these crazy traps. But even so, a zoner versus a grappler still has the capability to just end if the grappler gets in once and makes 1 or 2 good guesses.
Yep. And, this is Potemkin, who has so many, surprising ways to sneak in Potbuster. Hammerfall cancel into Potbuster is so fast in this game, Potbuster being a 3-frame option, Hammerfall break being even faster in this game than in Strive, for example. And you look right there.
Just like that we're in.
I mean, yeah,
Ooh!
Wow. Right? That's the value of an air grab. No wall break, but great Oki here. A lot of low checks, trying to keep people on the ground. But nonetheless, Branch flies right out. Looking for some Oki now on the air reset. Definitely going to have to crank the risk if you want a combo to kill Pod here. He's got a lot of guts. He's in the low section of his life bar. Might need 2 more, actually.
It spins the burst, does Docbach. All right, all the way through the whole ass screen.
Yeah, meet you there with the air-to-air. The Pod can fly. All grapplers can fly in Guilty Gear. And people are enabled to do what they want with the YRC function. Hard normal to contest a round start. And reactively hit confirmable into the Oki of your choosing. Love the multiple hits on that far S.
Burst gets perhaps not baited, but doesn't get as much here from Branch as you otherwise would hope. However, still managing to get the better of the subsequent scrambles here, and Docbach back into the corner once again with Branch in the driver's seat.
Yeah, round 1 opened pretty similarly in game 1, but when Doc mounted momentum, I mean, yeah, it's an explosion. That's 3 hits consecutively, all strikes, 1 strike and a Popbuster, and OTG? No, not this time. 1 more safe jump. I mean, the fact that the safe jump comes after Popbuster at mid-screen makes the corner borderline irrelevant. The Oki is so good after Popbuster in this game. Air throw, 1-frame option. Unfortunately, switching sides, most players tend to use the backward direction of air throw because it's a little bit... It feels more like one intuitive motion when you do a back air throw.
Ooh, okay.
Butt bounce.
And just like that, we're back to the corner. No, spends the resource there to earn some space on the screen, but Docbach, just like that, straight back in anyway. It doesn't really matter. Checks with the 5P.
Yeah, wall stick on Hammerfall hit. It was looking like Strive for a sec. I forgot about the mechanic, but I shouldn't. I know Beak Driver loops. The wall stick mechanic was plenty in Guilty Gear.
Oh, that was almost so smart. Wow. In the process of recognizing how brilliant it was to go for the splash into YRC to keep it safe, Branch instead was able to capitalize anyway, ends up closing out the round off of that sequence.
Yeah. And then there's the constant threat, right? Being made to block. You know, it's so much surprisingly harder to corner Pot in all fighting games. Okay. Because he will, you give him some space, right? You try to play some neutral, but then as soon as he has space, he's ready to just throw his face on the ground and hard knock down you from across the screen. Like, it's such a sneaky, pesky little move. A slide head, you know? It's like I'm sliding on the ground now.
Oh, no, but I don't think you're going to be able to kill here off of this. You get one more guess? Okay, never mind. I was going to say, the reality was, like, as bad as those health bars looked, Docbach had made a similar comeback in Game 1.
Secret Dizzy Meaty, by the way. Anytime she can't, it looks like she can't reach you on a knockdown, then she'll just do Ice Mountain YRC, and suddenly you're getting meatied. Which is cool, because, like, they just take advantage of your expectations on OP so reliably.
Continuing to try to push forward here is Docbach, but Branch, I think over the span of the set so far, Branch has gotten more comfortable just navigating on the screen to operate around what Docbach has, although as I say that, caught with the hammer fall and just like that,
yeah, low
blitz to get in, but
specific read from Branch, exceptionally rewarding now after a corner switch. Tons of meter to secure last hit situation. I mean, 3 bars. Yeah, so many layers on that fuzzy overhead. Didn't even get to spend meter, and now a comeback chance for sure with full bar Potemkin.
Right, you may actually die up.
Everywhere's the corner. Everywhere. Oh, yeah, tough spot. And you can't reversal blitz or anything against the Heat Knuckle either. It's a true grab type move.
Oh, managed to block the mix-up, but you're still stuck in the corner here. Docbach is one good read away, finds the anti-air into the Gatling follow-up, closing out the round, and this is now set point for Docbach.
Yeah, that was 5P into S. What an interesting Gatling that just works as an anti-air for him in this game. So yeah, Doc moving fast now through this. You know, Oki matters so much to both characters, but Potemkin's is just more efficient. on a counting damage for damage, hit for hit ratio, on a character with more life, you know. Branch has to spend a long time dominating this matchup to make it work.
Right. I think part of the difficulty, right, is like with the slightly limited damage, and the fact that, you know, even as a zoner, you're still using all of these resources and projectiles to set up mix-ups, is when your turn is over, it's not like you end at full screen like a different conventional 2D fighter zoner, where like you're staying full screen and you want all this space. It's not that you want space, it's that you want to completely and efficiently control a particular spot on the screen.
Yeah.
And when it gets away from him, depending on where that is, Docbach might only need to make one, you know, correct movement decision to get in on his own terms.
And often the movement decision is just restricting the other player's movement. Plot a character with long limbs and surprising mobility, and, you know, unsurprising damage, no doubt. Oh, scramble situation, tech reset, and Docbach loses the corner positioning but gains full meter when he had none. So among the most successful gold bursts you could ever ask for. Branch fighting against so many tools right now. And by right now I mean in the past, because that is over. Docbach advances to losers finals. Branch finishes 4th here at Boston Blue Beat monthly tournament. We got some more to talk about right now.
Yeah, so we're at the top 3, and which now means that we can talk about some of the cool stuff that we have coming down the pipe. Obviously, there's another monthly offline that's going to be at Platinum City Gaming here, put on by Boston Blue Beat. Not at Balance Patch, that's not a regular thing. We are doing it at PCG in Taunton next month on September 25th. But if you want to talk about the stuff that Boston Blue Beat is doing for the offline FGC, we have to talk about what we are announcing today, Boston Blue Beat Extend, which is going to be a 2-day event, January 8 and January 9. We have all of Balance Patch. If you've been here in the building before, normally half of the building is put aside for PCs, not on this weekend. Boston Blue Beat has the whole venue to ourselves, and we are using that to bring you the biggest 2-day anime offline event that Boston Blue Beat has put on before, with your usual favorites like BBCF, BB Tag, Guilty Gear Xrd, Plus R, and Strive. They're running both versions of Melty, Type Lumina and Current Code when the new one comes out. Uni, BBCF, oh, is that on there twice? It is. So is BB Tag. That's how excited they were about Blaze Blue, because I know Boston Blue Beat loves some Blaze Blue. You know what else they're running that's new for them? Them's Fighting Herds and Skullgirls are also going to be in the rotation for this. That is January 8 and January 9. Mark your calendars.
Yeah.
If you want to come up, please do. Boston is nothing if not accommodating. We actually had a couple of New York people come out last night for Dragon Ball Fighters. We love when people come out and try to compete with us in our own hood, and now you got 2 days to do it, so plan on that weekend. I know BBB has been very excited to announce this for a while.
Yeah. And Extend is right. I mean, double the venue space. Of course we're running double the games. I mean, hopefully we have double the attendance too. Vax cards and masked, of course, policy here. As, rules are thrown out the window because, I guess, wait, is this the same match? Or
No, this is Losers Finals.
Okay. Ah, right. Okay. Excellent. Losers Finals. Tanuk versus Docbach. We saw Tanuk earlier fall to Seoul. And now, totally different matchup, but similarly struggling against a character that wants to corner you, rush you down. It's pure control of neutral versus momentum-based set play again. And look at the detention pulse, always available for Doc. Heat Knuckle right on cue. Let's see the Oki. Still some risk here too. Ah,
Oh
delayed
my God.
super.
Yeah, you saw how long Docbach waited there. It was like, you're going to do it. And Tanuk was like, I am, but you don't know when.
Yeah, that was no mash. Psychic delayed super. I mean, delaying your throw, delaying your pop buster are such strong options for offense, in this game in particular as well, where throw is 1 frame and pop buster is 3, and throw invincible, and so frightening. So I'm glad Tanuk is cognizant of that and knows how to psych Docbach out. And of course demonstrating great Abare, right, always able to convert off of stray hits into something relatively strong that secures a knockdown. One of Elfeld's strong suits for sure.
Also, I feel like it's one of the skills that is, in the older GG titles a little bit more
Those
emphasized
loose
by way
air
of the
conversions.
Yeah, by way of the Gatling system being, much less. I don't want to say less limited because that sounds like a negative with respect to Strive, but it's a different beast. And I think the ability to have those different strange routes in these comparatively older titles emphasizes that skill set a little bit more. Tanuk making the way out of the corner. Okay, some decent damage right into the knockdown.
Potemkin gets shot, but he's a soldier. He's built for this. He's got a lot of armor. Gonna have to take a couple more of those handgun shots to the... I mean, his whole head is armored. He's got armor on his neck. I feel like Elfeld might need to aim lower. His legs, his muscles seem pretty exposed down there.
Right, I gotta say, he's a pretty top-heavy fella. I feel like if you hit the knee at the right spot, he's just gonna come toppling down.
Yeah, his tiny ankle, right? I mean, and once Potemkin's still, I think the matchup is over.
Yeah, the
imagine a
man like
Potemkin that can't Mega Fist at you. There's nothing there for him. Strawberry grenade. Look at that timer every time. Just kidding, that would be super distracting. Sometimes, though, you have the magical conversion when you're up against Elfeld, where you use her own grenade against her in a combo that otherwise wouldn't have existed. And you just feel like a genius.
Oh god, that's like when you catch a Faust with their own bomb.
Yeah. Knowing how and when to do that is like the most stylish skill in every Guilty Gear game.
Okay, gets away with the burst. Does Tanuk able to push out of the corner? Yep, does get the dash under just like that. We are set back to full screen, setting up the grenades once again. 5P mash from Docbach.
Don't you forget that a full charge rifle shot on top of a grenade creates an unblockable. So Potemkin, a particularly immobile character just sitting there, is more likely to be victim to that than anyone else. Tanuk with also the safest movement, Potemkin matchup exclusive movement options. Backdashing around backdashing over every single one of the slide heads is so important, and it just shows the kind of like long-standing Guilty Gear knowledge that Tanuk has had through playing so many years of this game. And probably this matchup with Doc, who's always been such a threat in the region.
So one game up here for Tanuk in the Losers Finals. Wants to get back up into Grands. Try to get that run back. And again, what we talked about, that was a pretty close set.
Yeah, for sure. 3-2. Only issue, I think the last game was 2 rounds straight, but otherwise, I mean... Oh no, we went the last game last round. Yeah. That was very close.
Well, this is looking clean for Docbach right now. We got one more guess. Generates the mix-up, gets caught low. Closes it out on Tanuk.
Impressive though. I mean, Doc never deterred by any one game not going the way they hope. It's a Potemkin player thing. You need steeled nerves, armor of steel.
I think a grappler thing in general, I would think. Like, there is just going to be the reality where, like, you know what you're getting into when you get into some of these, I don't want to say slower paced, but matchups where the other character has tons of resources to keep you at bay. And sometimes you're just not going to get in. Yeah,
the set play is really brutal for pot too, though, is the thing. Against Elfo, you get annihilated in neutral and then also annihilated on your back, holding the set play. So, strong conversion. Wow, the range of the conversion, right? XR Gatlings really shining right here for Docbach Potemkin. Regular Popbuster combo, double Heat Knuckle. Oh, that's a classic. That doesn't just break a wall anymore. Anyway, with all this meter, this is a borderline win condition.
Oh, I feel like that was maybe supposed to be a bait in the space that Docbach had left once again, but Tanuk doing a good job of varying the timings defensively around Docbach's tendency toward baiting.
Yeah, also too, if somebody has RC available, if they want a beta burst, they always can, you know? I feel like if it doesn't come out, they weren't looking for it. Because it's just such a simple reactive option to use. If you're really looking at their burst meter, you can even react. But if it didn't come, you know, his mind was focused on set play. But, you know, that can be rewarding. Just saving it for later, for use in neutral, you know. The whole fun in Guilty Gear is the wide variety of ways you can choose to use the mechanics situationally.
Backdash, big damage. The Grand Equalizer finds the up back out of another grab attempt there from Docbach.
I can't believe he can do so many hammer falls. Just 2 in a row faster than one big one. Shot the bullet and flicked the grenade. Incredible flick, but unfortunately the presumed offense that was available after was negated by Tanuk just moving forward, making Docbach corner himself for a bit.
Yeah, that YRC ends up working out, forces Docbach's anti-air to actually whiff, and now just like that we're back to the neutral. Oh no, gets sniped because Docbach spends the resource to get the anti-air.
Another Heat Knuckle, basically so little recovery every time. Docbach just on the verge of getting some meter here, could maybe afford a dead angle, something to save them in a corner situation. Instead it just kind of got blown away on a hammer fall, a slide head RC, and Tanuk takes 2 consecutive games, did so with a big meter lead and life lead, the kind of victory that gives you assurance going into a game 3 of what could be a 3-0 if Tanuk keeps it up. Let me see it. There's your, I believe it's called strawberry. It is a strawberry, but I've heard it referred to as pineapple. I don't know why.
Well, I think people will use pineapple to describe grenades sometimes.
Yeah.
But, like, it's very plainly a strawberry.
Yeah, why is it not a pineapple, honestly?
It would have been a much more on-the-nose pun.
Yeah.
But, like, it wouldn't fit with the pink theme that we've got going.
Or maybe, like, an American frag grenade that, you know, the pineapple-shaped ones.
That's what I'm talking about.
It just doesn't fit Elfeld's character, right? It needs to be something either red, delicious, fruity, wifey, you know.
Right, and then she's got the champagne thing, so, like, champagne and strawberries, like, that all goes together thematically.
Yeah, right. Tanuk, by the way, repping the Exart Sign Elfeld, classic white and pink. This is still her more iconic outfit, for sure, even though for the past 4 years she's been wearing a white dress with black, kind of looking like Ramlethal. The Revelator Elfeld, totally different design. Everyone prefers this one. Oh. Dust hit in the air. That was always one of the best ways to negate dust as a mix-up, because there's no conversions available for it as an air hit. It really kind of sucks, so you have to meaty with it properly or just hope that they actually stay down. And staying down is what Tanuk chose. Currently getting drilled into the ground by the Popbuster RC combo. Here is the invisible mix-up. Low, meaty frame trap. Of course, a counter hit comes. Docbach takes a clean round, still playing on survival point.
Yeah, I mean, despite the fact that that round went really well, that's looking like an isolated scenario so far. The story of this matchup so far has been, you know, Docbach getting a couple of rounds or a couple of good sequences, but Tanuk ultimately getting the better of the exchanges.
Yeah. Universal mechanics, backdash, very difficult option for anyone to deal with in this game in general. Invincible and such short recovery. Potemkin's backdash, for example. Doc will cite you on this 1 frame of recovery at the end, so he can dial a Potbuster and you'll be in his hands 3 frames later. It's a whiff punish tool, it's a defensive option, it's a last-ditch clutch option. I'm surprised we haven't really seen more of it. Even in the even in the corner, it's pretty good, the backdash.
Ooh, the up back out gets out of the grab setup, and Docbach, okay, still contesting the ground, but Tanuk seems pretty consistently going to the air.
No flick conversion. You can see a combo was available. Docbach just a little bit too far for Pot to swim into that combo in the air.
This is tough. Every single one of these like minor trades is just a little bit more life that Doc does not have to make transactions with. Oh, manages to get over the bazooka, but any hit will do it, and that should be it. And Tanuk cleans out the losers finals 3-0 to earn the right to go back to grand finals on the run back.
Yeah, Elfeld 5K, H, bang, 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 conversion. It never does much damage, but the amount of time it hits you does an obscene amount of psychological damage.
Right.
It's the most common thing you get hit by against Elfeld.
Right. Well, I mean, it's not dissimilar. It's like any time you get hit, like, zoning doesn't do a lot of damage.
Yep.
It's just you get frustrated because you're getting hit by projectiles, and you're just not allowed to play the game.
Yeah.
You're just like, why isn't this fun? And it's like, well, you see, I played a character where when I'm having fun, you definitely aren't.
Yeah, so Elfeld 5K as well, the button that gatlinks to that H, is very disjointed. So she sticks it out, and it's like a wall of like 4 active frames, or 5 active frames, I think, 1 for each toe in the shoes. And you can kind of use it like a Soul player would use his 5P, for example. So many active frames that big-ass weapon normals that you'd think would be hitting it from that range just collide with this little toe, and they just get counter hit, because counter hits in Guilty Gear, different than Street Fighter, for example, are active versus active and not active versus startup. But anyway, I assume we got a match.
Yeah, it looks like they're already loading in for character select here as we load in. I will give you guys the brief reminder as we load in. If y'all are excited, please make sure that you are following Boston Blue Beat here on Twitch where you are watching it. Stay tuned on Twitter so you know when new stuff is coming, such as more that we're going to tell you about before we transition over, including more information on Boston Blue Beat Extend. This is Grand Finals, Nuclearcheese versus Tanuk. Nuclearcheese with the 3-2 win in the winners finals side, but last game, last round.
Yeah, that's definitely data for Tanuk. I'm not sure how much experience they have together. I think Nuclearcheese might have traveled up for this one. Could attach a regional invasion story here if you wanted, but I'm not researched enough to articulate it to you. They're local? Awesome. Happy to hear it. Okay, cool. So, relatively familiar, but we're all playing Xrd for the first time in a little bit, I think. So it's coming back to me now. Yes, that's the feeling of the meterless dust loop. Soul does that combo while building so much meter to possibly make it way worse for you as soon as you wake up.
God. Alright, an interesting interaction sends us back to neutral, but just like that, Nuclearcheese gets away with the IADJH. The party starting now, the Gunflame hitting pretty meaty.
Always, yeah. 2-hit OTGs in this game.
The full charge 5D again!
Yeah, in this game, all dusts are one timing, and Soul has one of the faster ones, I believe.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So it's definitely something you got to look out for. The mid-screen combo is pretty strong. The more importantly, you land in the corner where Nuclearcheese has only temporarily once again found themselves just waited and jumped out. Tanuk not really inserting the meaty.
And didn't even need to spend the burst, which we are going to see now because Tanuk had the second opportunity. We vortex straight through the whole screen, right back to this P1 side corner. Tanuk gonna have to deal with it. Okay.
Very high hit, super to steal the turn, and chip as a guaranteer. I mean, Tanuk had plenty of meter, but who isn't trying to take their turn after such a high banded bringer?
Right, I was going to say, I'm like, you could FD if you weren't doing something else.
Though, that makes me surprised that it wasn't DP, but then you recall, Tyrant Rave has way more range than a DP, so even backdash might get caught by super, and backdash is a very likely option for people that just want to disengage from that uncertain situation. So super, a more confident call that works in more situations. Wow, look at that regular call.
Oh my God.
Stolen Soul. Tanuk. One game down in the set, already down a Soul. And Nuclearcheese now styling so hard, dropping their own combo, but picking up a new one after a dust reset. Around that Tanuk doesn't want to play anymore anyway. How high can we go? Oh my God.
Literally burned the whole bar just to try to make it happen. You have to deal with the corner now. We've got resources, but you're going to need to spend them. You can either spend them to not die on chip or to try to make this comeback happen. Manages to make the dive kick whiff. Nuclearcheese still has burst, though, and that's going to weigh heavy into Nuke's mind. Or it's not, because you're going to get smacked anyway as soon as Nuclearcheese presses the offensive.
It doesn't matter how early your burst and soul get stolen, because if you fight patiently enough, as Tanuk just demonstrated, you'll gain so much burst back that the consequences are not so severe. But, you know, also probably not an easily tiltable player. Tanuk's always just having fun playing any fighting game, really. So, you know, congrats on the Stolen Soul, honestly, but that what might just make it hurt more when Tanuk throws Nuclearcheese's burst later. I mean, there could be 8 more games in this thing.
There really could be. But we're going to have to see. I mean, Nuclearcheese has the strong corner position again. Tanuk has burst, but had kind of been a little bit... I feel like Tanuk has been a little less consistent in the locations wherein they elected to use it. Nuclearcheese is pretty consistently, like, if I'm near the corner and get hit, I'm bursting.
There it is again. A high Bandit Bringer,
oh
turn
my
stolen,
God.
and even a little 2P check. Normally such a safe button to press can often recover in time to avoid invincible reversals.
Is Nuclearcheese in another bracket somewhere or something? Like
he's in a rush, yeah.
Trying to speed run this Grands right now.
This Nuclearcheese is getting more unstable fast. There is a fission reaction happening right there in his hands. He's got to move somewhere before it blows.
Yeah, I mean, I know the meter I'm holding is showing 30 Rotkin.
Yeah.
It only goes to 30 Rotkin.
My Geiger counter deafened me 10 minutes ago. As soon as Winners Finals ended.
Oh my God.
Another air throw. I mean, at least this time a burst didn't disappear with it, but Tanuk's life bars definitely melted pretty fast.
Right. Oh, clipped on the up back. You have one more guess. Has to spend the reversal super. Does Tanuk. First time so far in this grand final set.
Yeah, first time so far, but still undefeated on reversal supers. People really just want to pretend Elfelt doesn't have the option because, you know, they despise her so much. They don't want to return to neutral. She'll dominate you there. So people just insert the Oki and she always wakes up with the super for free.
I think the reality is, you know, especially in the position that Nuclearcheese is in, unfortunately losing out that round as a result of all of this. But what I was going to say is the position Nuclearcheese is in is like, if you're right, you win the round. And if you're wrong, she gets some breathing room, but she's still in the corner. You still have plenty of life.
Yep.
Like a 2 or 3 touch game at best.
Yeah, that situational risk reward analysis was complete in seconds. It's easy for him, you know?
Oh my God.
Oh, the meter melted to Blitz, and that's much more expensive for Nuclearcheese than it is for Tanuk, who's built so much meter, sticking out normals and zoning throughout most of this round, and has plenty for Grenade Wire C if they choose to use it. Finds it instead on a combo pickup. Stylish punish from Tanuk, who doesn't tie it up, but takes a game in a set that is now 1-2. 2 more for Tanuk to reach a reset, 1 more for Nuclearcheese to send us home real early.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a huge momentum shift that you need. Like, those first 2 games were so plainly in Nuclearcheese's favor.
Mm-hmm.
I was very ready for just a 3-0 quick sweep. Getting that 1 game for yourself, absolutely what you need for that mental situation. Nuclearcheese spending the burst to reset back, goes across the entire damn screen. Oh, burst baited so high up.
Same OTG situation. So that was an FD right there. Tanuk pushed Nuclearcheese away out of the dust range just by FDing the 2K. And that scramble that was created is what has now allowed Tanuk to maybe exit the corner, but possibly die to a reversal. Just got hit by Gunflame.
Yeah, I wonder if it was like a late attempt to IAD over and start the offense. We've seen trying to go to the air in that situation. It's usually been either backdash or like IAD over to try to steal your own turn back on the read.
Yeah.
Whatever the choice was, I think it was just a hair too late.
However, counter hit close S into Elfelt's massive combo off 6P. Another grenade pickup. Yeah, this is that shotgun stance Elfelt that normally cooks through most of the tournament. This is what most people actually associate with Elfelt.
Yeah, we've literally not gotten to see it at all. And this is, I mean, we saw Tanuk had to play against Soul now twice.
Oh, Bridal Express under! And Nuclearcheese, recognizing the peril of the situation, lets the burst rip, loses it immediately. Elfelt's so excellent at comboing burst safely from far away, and Tanuk takes a huge advantage in this game now, suddenly, just in 2-player split decisions in the last second of the last round.
That's tough. I mean, Nuclearcheese is in a bad spot here. Down about 40-45% life. Okay, finds the back throw. Going to be able to be in the driver's seat here for a little bit, but burst is going to take a little while to get back.
Yeah. And now we're on the wrong side of the road. England driving on the opposite side. Totally crossing the channel now, back to the Atlantic, headed west to the left corner. And an air reset situation. Nuclearcheese trying to fly out of the corner, scrambling, and loses an entire game for it. Tanuk ties up our set score in confident fashion. Ever since that burst flub at the end of the previous round, that Nuclearcheese could have put themselves in a tournament-winning position doing, Tanuk had all the momentum.
Yeah, and like there's something to be said that you talked about when they played in the winners final side that Tanuk never got the opportunity to play the corner game that we associate with LFL, but we're seeing it brought out now here. It's not just that Tanuk is getting the better of these situations. Tanuk is managing to set up these situations wherein his win condition is happening now.
Yep. And Nuclearcheese having to move forward. I think Tanuk's found a comfortable position now, being the kind of mobile wall that LFL also likes to be. 2S a big shield right there, you see it again. Close S anti-air, champagne port pops. It always reaches. It leads to such a fantastic combo. This one kills for sure. Super for the style. There were plenty of ways to do it, but I think this is every LFL player's preferred way. Probably optimal as well.
Right, we are at reset point here, Tanuk, looking down the barrel of a reverse 3-0 to bring us into Shin Finals.
Yeah, it's definitely Nuclearcheese looking down that barrel, and the barrel is 2 feet long because it's a sniper rifle from LFL. Playing the shooters in Guilty Gear, much like Ramlethal was supposed to be playing the 3D fighter and Jacko was playing an RTS. Thankfully now she's just playing billiards as the Venom function we all needed her to be secretly.
Right, the burst from Tanuk wants to get some space back. Nuclearcheese has burst. I think if you can make this happen, okay, aggressive with the DP, keeps himself safe with the burst. I was going to say, if you could try to clean out this round without having to spend the burst, that would be huge, but...
Facing such a meter deficit, though, it's hard to have any confidence in doing so, and that's a kill right off of the air throw. Perfect grenade explosion timing. Tanuk had that ready in advance. With the situational awareness of a Call of Duty player who has earned themselves the chance to reset this bracket and enter the next set with a ton of momentum. On the same stage, so you don't have any time to do anything.
No, I mean, this just became a first to 6.
Yeah. And, it might even possibly be a reverse 6-0 if this keeps up.
Yeah, I mean, Nuclearcheese looks to really be struggling.
Got to earn a lot of space just running, though. Soul, 6P, actually whiff punished. Head immunity had nothing to do with that. Cranking the risk, about halfway there. Haven't seen much in the way of high-risk counter hits yet either.
Oh my god. It's as though Tanuk has found that giving just that little bit of space is a big difference maker, and Nuclearcheese is going to make the mistakes. Like, we're seeing a lot of whiff DPs that are now getting punished.
Yeah, and...
Speak of.
Yep, Ground Viper.
He dropped the combo, but it doesn't even, really matter.
I'm right there with you, though. Ground Viper counts as DP, but it's one you do from neutral. And in the event of it hitting like it just did, no reason to waste the RC. It's not a particularly damaging starter.
Oh, no.
But it is a great, reliable tool for getting in. Nuclearcheese, though, dies with all of that orange meter, 50 of it. We haven't seen a single dead angle come out the entire tournament from any player, but I think it's the most reliable defensive mechanic. But because Blitz comes out at 25 meter and is a little cheaper, most of these players are playing the higher risk game, not spending the dead angle to return to neutral. I mean, at alpha neutral, it can feel pretty hopeless, but sometimes you do things that you have to do out of desperation.
All right, continuing to... Wow, finds the standing 5K there, opening up this offense, and now Nuclearcheese stuck back in the corner. We're going to have that corner game from Tanuk's Elfelt that we've talked about a couple of times here. No burst on deck, no resources on deck even for Nuclearcheese, but finds the anti-air 5K jump cancel.
Yeah, Tanuk actually trying to get away with 2 IAD cancels off of far Gatlings in a row. The first one passed by no problem. But no matter. The sniper rifle's there to clean it up. Tanuk takes the 5th... No, hang on, let me think.
That's the 4th game straight
in a row.
And somewhere, St. Cole had just stopped whatever he was doing and went, shoot us on the roof with the scope!
Yeah. I think she's quick scoping. She doesn't strike me as much of a hard scoper. She lines it up real fast. She's making a montage.
Has anyone run anti-cheat? I wonder if this feels like there might be something of an aimbot there.
She got wall hacks because she only needs to line up the shot on one axis because she's playing a 2D game. Yeah. Very easy for her. Anyway, also... It's been easy for Nuclearcheese to exit the corner in the past, but now that Tanuk's being so much more adamant about controlling airspace with close S and a kind of preempted run-up close S style of containment, Nuclearcheese has been struggling getting out of the corner. Invincible backdash for Tanuk. Again, giving Nuclearcheese just enough space to run into another thing.
Yeah, and that's been pretty consistently the distance that's been made here. Okay.
Little no-hit marker on that one. Barely missed the leg shot, looking for the cripple effect. Targeting Soul's legs and VATS.
VATS.
Yeah. Very useful against Death Claws. Not so sure about Soul Bad Guy.
Well, we're going to have to see. I got to tell you right now, with these RPG mechanics, it's looking like Soul Bad Guy needs to spec a little bit more into Constitution, because that health is not looking too great. But we do have the strength score looking pretty high. Looking at that damage going on.
Yeah.
Finds the up back, but the throw whiffs to Nuke. Closing out yet another round. Looking like it could be 5 straight.
There was a ton of wild throw in set 1. Not as much successful wild throw in Grand Final set 1. And none so far in set 2. Only leading to Tanuk's damage on reads and punishes. I mean, Nuclearcheese has mounted momentum and comebacks usually pretty one consistent way. Starting with the early wild throw, taking advantage of the fact that you can re-corner people with it. It makes it a much more valid mix-up tool than it is in Strive, for example. Anyway, that was a great knockdown. Right, sticking with the frame trap angle so far. Great conversion. Surely going to kill. Burst just comes back in time for Tanuk to have some confidence going into the next round, though. Nuclearcheese won't be back for a while.
Yeah, and I mean, Tanuk is in the position, I think if you can try to maximize this, like, that's the difficulty. I think you want to spend the burst if this starts to get away from you, okay. Yeah, I think with where you're at now, if this starts to get away from you at all, I don't like the surrendering of the space. Now, I obviously don't know enough about the matchup, but like...
See, yeah, that Bridal Express knockdown from Elfelt so reliably re-corners the opponent for mid-screen, just because her meterless corner carry is so strong. So that's one thing that lets her kind of walk back like you were noticing. The fact that your corner carry is so reliable, even without meter. So then once you have meter, oh my god, the shotgun stance is terrifying.
Right, contesting, moving forward. Nuclearcheese still without burst. Tanuk still with burst.
Yeah, that burst is about to be back though. Basically on cue. Also, a lot of high hit Elfeld combos.
I think that was maybe a late RC, unfortunately. Okay.
Don't get baited. That's the only way to die here. And it was a firework burst so high from Tanuk. One of the more inexperienced choices of burst that you tend to see players make, but I think at a higher level, like Tanuk knows that they're playing at, it's perhaps a little bit more unexpected to burst right after the jump cancel. But even still, it's a bad idea just because hitboxes and hurtboxes don't line up so good for the burst. Close has preempted though, once again. Nuclearcheese loves that IADJH. Classic Soul Bad Guy.
And that was another very early burst there from Nuclearcheese. Really wants to, and perhaps remembering what was working in the first set and is not working here, ensuring that that burst is spent to make sure that you are controlling the pace of the neutral, because you need to be the one that is pushing Tanuk to the corner and making sure that you are never the one on the back foot.
With certainty, picking up a wall bounce 6p counter hit into 5k. And I love the way Tanuk waited for the combo to be confirmed before bursting, knowing full well that not many Soul Bad Guy players will pick that up so reliably.
Right,
full meter now for Tanuk once again. I mean, we could see, I think that angle would make sense here, right?
No, it's going to be reversal super. It's always been reversal super.
High risk, high reward, but not as much risk knowing there's a full another RC available, and this one kills, yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'm with it. End it now. That makes way more sense. Thanks for showing us the way, Tanuk. As far as counter hit. That one was almost picked up a little bit more convincingly, but yet still we stay at mid-screen. Tanuk really only taking scrambles worth of damage and finds a much more stable confirm. Huge life lead for them now. Pending overhead mix-up. There's a quick burst. Same type of fireworks situation, just too far. And no hurtbox out there.
And I was going to say, we know that Nuclearcheese is going to burst when this all starts. It was just unfortunate that I think the antsiness to burst got in the way of picking the right spot.
Yes. YRC instead of red RC, by the way, allows you to have that safe super available at 75 meter instead of at 100. So it's so widely available for Tanuk. Same as Blitz Close S is a reliable anti-air option, and it's one that you can hold down, right? So Soul can delay his air approach with Bandit Bringer or a variety of jump approaches, regular jump IID. But because Blitz is holdable, you have a defensive option against all of the timings regardless.
Oh, okay, does not quite find the whiff punish on the dive kick, but still off to something of an early life lead here. And the neutral just kind of slightly going in Tanuk's favor. And I feel like that's a big part of what has been the adjustment here in this secondary set now. Oh no, goes for a hungry burst there, and it does not quite work out. Nuclearcheese still with the burst, trying to establish his gunflame here to try to find some space, finds the dust mix-up once again.
Yeah, right. So like getting the better end of a scramble is trademark Elfeld, right? Somehow when she hits you, it's just more convertible, even on trades. And right, natural built-in whiff punish tool with that far S from her. And, Frederick Bad Guy really kind of having to scramble, run up DP, for example, to take ground, but it doesn't yield any hard knockdown or anything rewarding for him, so the high-risk plays just don't have the reward that you might expect from a different game. Gunflame is a shield, but not such a good trade frame data-wise. Tanuk sniped it so far away. Actually taking huge advantage now off that projectile situation.
Oh my
God. No hard box. It's a shotgun blast. It's buckshot. There's nothing to burst on. That's a kill.
And crucially, that round took long enough that Tanuk won the burst back. So Tanuk goes in to tournament point off of being down 2-0 in the first half of Grands.
It's a catastrophic error, the burst thing. And it's one that could become unforgettable unless Nuclearcheese dominates this round in such a convincing fashion that his burst is irrelevant.
And it's not what we're seeing so far. It's insane the difference in what we were seeing. That first set, Nuclearcheese dictated the pace of everything. Tanuk is finding that extra little, 5% different positioning to make the stuff work. The grenade even catching the dive kick on whiff. It's just these little bits of life that are working out.
Yeah. Right, so you typically enter these later stages of rounds, Tanuk with a slight life lead and a definite resource lead. And look what we have, definite resource lead, not a slight life lead yet, but that just recently changed. It could change more dramatically now. Frederick in a great position, Mr. Bad Guy. Oh, good mash from Tanuk, 2P, far Gatling.
Oh no, okay. Goes unpunished after the fact, raid.
Yeah, so no ATG Gunflame, and Nuclearcheese scrambling after it didn't come out, not knowing how to secure the corner. Tanuk takes the advantage in the scramble. AID's right out.
All right, you have one more guess.
And Crown Viper all the way out of the corner, almost on full meter and full burst, so Nuclearcheese has a huge resource advantage. Want to just spend some meter here? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well.
It's gone now, but you still have burst. Maybe gold burst for the meter back?
Honestly, this is for tournament point. I think if you're Nuclearcheese, you burst the second Tanuk gets anything, because you're not going to die in one hit. Unless
there might not be a hurt box of the thing. Bursting Elfeld can be hard on those far away. Yes, it is the gold burst, baby! And now with the life lead air throw, definitely going to kill. That was an essential gold burst. The only way victory could be achieved. With time actually running out, Tanuk almost achieving a low life timeout there.
Yeah, huge. But still tournament point here for Tanuk, the DP through from Nuclearcheese. Finding a little bit more aggression, perhaps, to try to be part of the adjustment.
Boom.
The grenade gets the juggle.
It's unstable and allows Nuclearcheese to exit the corner, but I would say the half-life damage is worth it. Got some guts kicking in for Soul now. Not worth it anymore. Let's redact that because Nuclearcheese has cornered Tanuk. Just kidding. These stray hit DPs are actually doing more harm than good for Nuclearcheese just because they send Elfeld so high, she IADs right out of the corner.
Yeah, I mean, he's not getting a whole lot of life for it, and he's not able to maintain the... You either want to get the damage or you want to be able to maintain the positioning. And the damage is not worth it, and the position is being lost. The burst finds the anti-air on the dive kick. There's the reversal super once again, but you are absolutely blocking this. Has the meter to keep it safe with the RC.
Jumping after Bringer. Baited! Soul has been stolen. It wasn't thrown. It was blocked and punished conventionally, respectfully, optimally by Tanuk, who demonstrates how to win the monthly in convincing fashion after losing, something like 4 or something games in a row to Nuclearcheese?
Something
earlier?
like that.
Yeah. What was it, 6 back? No, lost 1 afterwards, but completely one-sided after the adjustment.
Yeah, no, it was a absolutely fantastic adjustment. Big ups to Tanuk for being able to make that adjustment in the first place. It was an entirely different set.
Yeah.
The reverse 3-0 to close out the first part of Grands there was in and of itself great, but that momentum continued through past the bracket reset. We're going to be continuing through with more of the tournaments that are happening here today because we got BB, we got Uni, we even have Melty Blood here, but you know what else we got? We got more than today. We talked about Blue Beat Extend coming in January, but we also have, as you see, there's the Blue Beat Extend promo flyer up there for you. That information, I'm sure, is going to be posted on the socials, which y'all should be following if you are not. That is January 8 and 9, but also the next monthly, as we talked about a little bit, the next offline monthly specifically, September 25, and it is happening at Platinum City Gaming down in Taunton, not at Balance Patch where we are today. This is not a regular occurrence, but it is certainly happening for this next one. Furthermore, there is an online monthly that Blue Beat is putting on tomorrow as well, as if one monthly in a particular weekend was not enough for y'all. If y'all want your anime fighters and you like them loaded in New England, that'll happen tomorrow with Strive, AC Plus R, Guilty Gear, and BBCF, ranging from 3 to 7 p.m. Also, as you see on the screen, New England Online Reloaded. Boston Blue Beat decided to call out the homies, partnered with Trace Complete and Casa Bunch to bring you guys New England's premier online event on the back of everything that we all worked on for Casa, and it's looking so great that, as you see on the screen, Red Bull is out here cooperating with NE Reloaded. We are so proud to be able to bring you guys all of this stuff. I know everybody's been super excited about this all working through. That is on September, what does that say, 18 and 19?
Yeah, 2 days of action. Yep. Similar to the actual Extend monthly that we're going to be having. With double the space here at BP, I mean, you said we like our anime monthlies loaded, so Reloaded is the most applicable title for our online edition, which, with a Red Bull partnership, I mean, who knows what we can accomplish, right? Big money prizes. Anyway, let's get out of here and let somebody else commentate, right? We got more games?
Yep, there's absolutely more coming, so make sure that you keep it tuned here. Follow on the socials for the updates on the rest of the brackets coming today. I know Melty is running on Michael Dink's stream as well, but there's also going to be some other stuff. The only thing that is not happening on stream today is basically Guilty Gear Strive, where we're running an arcade-style 1v1 head-to-head setup for the whole day. So,
yeah, what a change of pace, by the way.
Yeah.
Just for the fighting game community in general.
Yeah.
Let's take Strive and put it off stream for a day.
Right? It's a bold move, Cotton.
Yeah.
Let's see how it works out for him. I think with that, we are free to leave y'all to whoever they are getting to replace us. It has been a blast watching some Rev2. Thanks so much for sitting down with me, Matt.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, honestly. Rev2, my eyes it hasn't graced my vision for a long time. And it's nice to kind of remember how I got into Guilty Gear through that game, looking at mechanics like Blitz. Things that like are so game specific that to me like were Guilty Gear defining. Just totally not there. So
sure. Yeah.
I love looking back on it. And next time I'll be playing.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so with that, we're going to be leaving you. Much love, everybody. Make sure you wear your masks and get vaccinated. We want to be able to keep doing this stuff. So do your part. Much love. Be safe.